And hello, everybody, and welcome to the Trace Amigos show, where I'm joined every Thursday night by my good friends, the Bearded Chief and the Tactical Santa. Guys, I am so excited about tonight to have our good friend Greg Boswell on tonight. But before we introduce him and get started, how are you guys doing this fine week? Dino.
All right, I'll go first. I didn't go to the gym this week.
Okay.
At all. My son's birthday, we celebrated Tuesday. The whole family went out to the lake and got the Blackstone out, and we're out there just, having some burgers and whatnot and swimming and having a good time, eating really bad food, and I could feel it. The next day I could just feel it like a food hangover. It was horrible. And then yesterday we went to the range and did a little plinking and had a little good time out there and made a little video of me and my son. And just hanging out and stuff. And today, wife says, it's going to rain the next 4 days. I was like, oh. So I load up my tractor, get down to my mom's, take care of mom's, drive the tractor up to my daughter's house, mowed all her stuff, put the tractor back on, went to my cousin's house, unloaded the tractor, mowed all her grass, loaded the tractor back up, came home, mowed my grass. The sun beat me up.
I can imagine. Oh man,
it has a tendency of doing that. Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Dino, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I got back from West Virginia Sunday. I had a fun time at the Appalachian Beard Mafia, their beard battle that they had. I actually, under Chief's commands, I went and brought hardware back. I actually won first place in freestyle, and then I took third place in the 12-inch and longer. So had a fun time, got to meet a lot of cool people, hung out with some pinup girls, so it was definitely a fun time. But yep. But the rest of my week's been really good. Just been catching up with certifications online for some of my instructorships. So just been banging those out and trying to make it through the day.
Wonderful. Now I got to ask Chief. Okay, so if you guys haven't checked out the Bearded Chief and also the Tactical Center, which we're going to talk about here in just a minute about their YouTube channels, y'all make sure y'all check them out and subscribe if you haven't done so already. But if you haven't seen Chief's latest video, he does a beard product review over Pawpaw's Beard Co. Well, that was a great review, but the steal of the show was his guest that he had on there. Chief, can you tell us a little bit about your special guest that you had on your review?
Man, I think this is family and family and family of raccoons that have lived underneath my deck. The babies come back and the babies come back. Well, this raccoon, right before I started, walks up on my deck, just like the family before and the family before that. So I throw some Cheerios out and I start recording my video, and it's right there by my feet. So I'm like, oh boy. So I throw some Cheerios out there. So this, I had to show the raccoon on video. I think my video might be the only one with a live wild raccoon sitting at my feet.
I don't know. That's awesome. It was great. I was laughing the whole time. Well, guys, before I introduce everybody, there was a worldwide hiccup today with StreamYard and a lot of platforms. So there was some kind of cloud issue, and it was a global issue. I kind of panicked a little bit producing the show. I deleted the original stream, which I tend to do that, jump ahead. If I'd have waited about 15, 20 minutes, everything would have been okay. So I did re-put it back out there. So if you're out here watching today, if you don't mind resharing it out there, and let's get some folks in here tonight and enjoy the show. If you guys are okay, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce the folks real quick that are here, and then we'll get our guest on. The first one here tonight was Baker. He's going to watch a replay. We understand, Baker, you got to work, brother. We appreciate you watching the restream. Remember to subscribe to Greg Boswell's channel and look him up if you haven't done so already. Hey, y'all, Jordan. I'll catch the replay. All right, Jordan, we appreciate you, man. And there's my Texas buddy, the one, the only Pud Road, and Jeff Hammond.
Mr. Hammond.
Hello. John Fox. How you doing, man? Thank you very much for your support. And there's Santa Allen, my good buddy. I think I saw him make a comment that Chief, you know his lifestyle now. He's out there in the sun all the time.
Yep.
All right. There's Blake Hughes. How you doing, brother?
Buddy.
What's happening, Blake?
All right. Dino.
Hey,
Come on, man.
What's happening, man?
And there they are, frickin' frack, the one and only Robert and Terry Jones. And folks, I'll talk more about it here in just a minute. I got a special announcement to make. There's Amber. We are picking up some pizza. All right. Well, thank you very much for being here. I appreciate Kev jumping on my live Instagram this morning. I appreciate him as always. Hey. All right. There's Twitch.
Hey.
Twitch. I know for a fact that Twitch is a big fan of Greg Boswell, guys, because he's on his live streams as well. So y'all make sure, I believe, and we'll talk more about it in a minute as we're getting up about 30 people in here now. So Greg Boswell does lives, and we'll ask him about that here in just a minute. So y'all make sure you catch that as well. All right. There we go. Everybody saying hello. There he is. Hey, Ricky, how you doing?
Hey.
Good to see you. Born, David.
What's up,
going on, Dave? Appreciate you, brother. There's Melissa. We'll be talking about Melissa here in just a second.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Hello.
Hey.
Hope you're feeling better, Renee.
Yep.
I know you were kind of under the weather there for a minute. All right, guys. There's Tomahawk.
Hey.
How you doing? What's up, brother? Randy R.
Randy.
All right. I think everybody's saying hello to everybody. Make sure I don't miss anybody. Beards and Barks. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you, man. Randy says congratulations to Dino. There, Mr. Bruce City. How you doing, brother?
What's up, bro?
Good to see you, man. We'll be talking about them here in just a second as well. Right. All right. There he is, Dynamite.
Mike.
Thank you so much for filling in for me while I was in Florida last week, man. I rewatched the show. You shouldn't even notice I was gone, man. You did so good. Appreciate you, man. There's Mr. Wayne Wilson. Hey, brother. Hey, man. All right. Boy, it's like the farther you scroll down. What's up, brother? The farther you scroll down, it's just like more just keeps adding.
Right.
It's not a problem.
There's Mike. How you doing? Not at all.
Appreciate
you, brother. All right. Maybe we will see our guest on the Beard with Respect here in the future. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? All right, guys. What's up, Wayne? How you doing, man? And Kay, there's Kay.
Hey, what's happening?
Dave's better half. Okay, guys. Well, before we get started, I just want to bring up some things that we are going to be doing a giveaway tonight. So make sure you stick around for that. The giveaway will be celebrating Tactical Santa, that is Dino's 300 subscribers to Facebook. So thank you, everybody who went over and subscribed. If you know anybody, share his channel out there. Let's get him up to 500. But he will be doing a giveaway tonight. We'll talk more about that in just a little bit. All right. Don't forget tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have Miss Melissa on and her special guest, Christina Laro. I hope I'm saying that right. And her awesome looking bearded husband standing there in the background. That beard just makes the picture for me, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So make sure you check out Melissa tonight. And tonight on the Beard with Respect, they have Chad from Beards, Heads, and Threads. Chad just opened up his own beard product company. I was on his website looking. He's got some great looking products. So y'all make sure you tune in tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Central Time, and check out the Beard with Respect because they are much loved by the Trace Amigos show. And next week, Dino and Steve, we have as our guests, first time on a live show, Mr. and Mrs. Robert and Terry Jones.
Yeah.
All right. So y'all please make sure you check us out next Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, guys. All right. With all that out the way, guys, if y'all don't have anything else, I say we go ahead and bring our guest on. We burned about 9 minutes, so I say we bring them on and let's let the fun commence. It's going to be about all because Dino and Chief about to start asking the questions, right? All right, guys. Please help me give a warm welcome to the one and only Mr. Greg Boswell.
What's up, Greg?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on. Well, it's a privilege to be here, and I'm thankful that you guys thought of me to ask me to be here. So I'm
our
ready.
pleasure.
I'm locked and loaded and ready to go.
Well, Greg, we had Tara from True North on, and I was a little starstruck. I know Santa Tom is just a little starstruck right
I am,
now.
no doubt. Yes, I am.
Well, that's nice. I appreciate that. You won't get that very many times in life. So you take it where you can get it, right?
Yeah.
I think Tom kind of oversold me a little bit, but
I don't think so.
that doesn't happen very often either. So, but I'll just say I didn't hear I got a little distracted, so I didn't hear a lot of what went on before I got on because someone said something about pinup girls, and I had a brain fog after that. And then one of your commenters said something about pizza. So pinup girls and pizza, that's a great way to start, right? Oh.
Well, Greg, I don't know if you watched the show or not before, but Dino and I like to do this or that questions to soften you up, to get you talking. But I know you don't need that. But we're going to do it anyhow because it's our show and it's what we like to do. So, So Dino, how about you go first on this or that, buddy?
Sure. So, win the lottery or find your dream job.
Oh. I would say win the lottery.
Yeah.
And the reason, I don't know if you want a reason, maybe that's your next question. If you have I don't know if you want the answer to that.
Sure. Let's hear it.
Because I'm pretty good with my money. I'm not one of these people that would blow it. Like you hear about all these people winning the lottery and they just blow their money and they're poor within a matter of a couple of years. I wouldn't be like that. And I could find a way to entertain myself on many different platforms in life and just have a lot of fun. Where with a dream job, even a dream job becomes a job, just a job after a while. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's something you may not be, you might get yourself corralled into it and might not be able to get out of it as easily. It might, the joy of it might not be there later on. So, I've seen plenty of people do that. They pursue something they love so much, and then after a while, it becomes a nightmare. And not to be pessimistic, but if I won the lottery, I'd have options at least.
Right.
Well, to jump on back of that, before my question, what is the first just ridiculous thing? Like you won the Powerball, you got all the money in the world. What's the one most ridiculous thing that you've always wanted that you would just go and buy right now?
Oh, I would probably buy a second home somewhere, like far removed from here. Second home. I'd probably buy a second home with a lot of acreage out close to the mountains, maybe, but far away from people. But it would be lavish enough to entertain all my friends.
Like the Yellowstone Ranch.
There you go. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the show, but I can imagine. Yeah, that's probably it right there.
Okay,
I think that's what I do.
Me over? Can you just invite me over for a couple of steaks?
Yeah, as long as you don't bring Tom.
Okay. Sold. I sold you out for steak.
I have to pick on Tom since I'm his guest. So
yeah,
I have the right to do that now since I've actually met him in person. So.
Right.
You know what? That's nice because me and Dino are usually the ones getting the jabs, but that's cool. You keep picking on Tom for a little while.
Yeah. Listen, with guys, if you don't take jabs between men, if you don't take jabs, you're not liked.
Right.
You're just not liked. So it's a compliment.
Okay. I got a serious question. I've asked this before months ago. It involves your toilet paper roll.
Okay.
Now, is it over or under? Under being by the wall, over being the proper way, over. Which way are you?
Okay. Well, the way I heard this one time was that over is like a beard, under is like a mullet, and I prefer the beard.
Beard.
The toilet paper has to fall down in front. It has to cascade down the front.
It does. Absolutely. Yeah. I like you a lot.
Well, mission accomplished. I can leave now.
We can stop the show now.
Well, Chief, you're going to have to ask your famous question though, and I'll ask it for you. Milwaukee or DeWalt?
Are you asking me that?
Yep.
Oh, so he knows my answer.
This will determine the Chiefs' view.
I don't know.
Are you talking about cities or are you talking about teams?
No, power tools. Milwaukee power tools or DeWalt power tools?
I've never used Milwaukee. So I would say DeWalt because I have a preference, but that's the only time I've kind of used. The only kind of used, but I've never used Milwaukee.
We're best friends.
I'm beginning to wonder about you guys now.
We're best friends.
Man,
was that your this or that or no?
Well, I figured it was the right time to do that. Like you were, you're praising, so we had to figure out, right?
So it's my turn.
Well, your turn.
When you said DeWalt, I didn't know that's what you said, and I thought you were saying the name of another city, and I was like, "Where is he talking about?" I haven't been to Milwaukee, so.
Okay, this one's kind of silly.
All right.
Jelly bean rain or marshmallow snow?
Ooh.
It had to be marshmallow snow because jelly beans might hurt.
Yeah.
Right?
Storm?
They might hurt.
Oh, yeah.
And they're probably quicker to rot my teeth out.
Yeah, and then you got to sweep them up and
along with my teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd say marshmallow.
Yeah.
Boy, those are some interesting questions. I'll have to say, I got to hand it to you guys. That's quite a magnitude. Yeah, I like it. I like it because you don't know what's coming.
That's what we do.
Don't know what's coming.
So, my family owns a ice cream cookie dough store. So my question to you is, ice cream cone or milkshake?
Milkshake.
Yes.
Yeah. Milkshake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every day of the week, man.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I would like to have one right now, actually.
Yep. When you come visit, Marta Lee is like 2 miles from me. I get a large chocolate milkshake and I ask them to put a dollop of peanut butter in it when they're grinding it. Right. Every single time. I don't get nothing else but a chocolate milkshake with a dollop of peanut butter.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
As much as I love milkshakes, I used to hate making them because they take so much time. Yeah. And then I couldn't find any help. And the next thing you know, I got 20 people like, oh, you got 18 milkshakes to make. I'm like, oh.
Wow.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
Greg, you look like you eat healthy. But McDonald's fries or the Fair fries?
Ooh.
McDonald's fries. I love McDonald's fries. I never eat at McDonald's, but I love their fries. And here's the thing, guys. I just heard today they might be going back to frying their fries in beef tallow.
Yeah.
So that's going to be even better.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, the reason I picked McDonald's over the Fair is because I don't really get fries at the Fair, so I can't really compare it.
You got to smother them in vinegar.
Yes.
Malt
vinegar. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I like McDonald's over anybody else's fries, but there's some weird people that go to Wendy's and they dip their fries in their Frosty. I don't know about that, man.
I haven't done it, but it actually makes sense to me. I mean, initially upon hearing about that, you think those two things don't go together, but it actually makes sense to me. The salty and the sweet. Right. I'll tell you what, someone got me hooked onto years ago, and if you've never tried this, you should do it. But if you get fries at McDonald's, ask him for a small cup of their tartar sauce. If you dip your fries in their tartar sauce, that is so good.
Right.
That's so good. Yeah.
With chili and cheese. I like them plain. Sleigh bells. just a little bit of
Mhm.
vinegar and just a little bit of ketchup on there to get that
Never tried
grease
the
all
vinegar.
over your hands. Oh yeah.
He's
But-
passionate about this.
Oh
Steve
yeah.
is passionate.
I love food.
Yeah, me too
Oh,
right now because now I'm hungry.
Right.
Speaking of food, unlimited free travel or unlimited free food?
I'd say unlimited free travel.
Wrong.
Really?
I love to
well,
eat.
Yeah. Well, I like to eat, but I'm not. I do enjoy eating, but it's not like a big focal part of my day.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm a big gym nut, and I just power through protein and tuna and meat and fish.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, I'm gonna go. Dino, I'm going all day long with that food. Bring it.
Well, let me ask you something, Steve. I love tuna, but have
Oh,
you
yeah.
ever like mixed a can of tuna in with your macaroni and cheese?
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's
I
my
will.
wife. She's like, my wife is up chucking right now listening to me talk about that.
Oh,
But I love it. If
I
she keeps
think-
walking in here, I'm gonna pull her over here and force her into this live
tell,
stream.
tell her we're talking about horror movies.
Yeah, so we're talking about horror movies.
Get ready to watch one tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Yeah, Friday the 13th. Tomorrow's Friday the 13th.
It is. Oh, funny.
I'm up,
She's walked in and out of here 3 times, and I think subconsciously she wants to be in this live stream.
Yeah.
So,
Tell her we said hello, and she's welcome anytime.
well, I like you said, she won't do it, but
Yeah.
yeah, who knows? Who knows? One day, maybe.
I don't know why. My wife's beautiful. I'm sure your wife's beautiful too, but they don't want to be on that camera.
No, does your wife let you take pictures of her?
Yeah, but she's got to look at every single one.
Oh,
Delete that one. I don't like that one.
right.
Okay.
Does she tell you that you take terrible pictures of her?
Well, I've learned how to take pictures of her because
Oh,
all the pictures
okay.
have to be downwards or her good side. Yeah.
Okay.
You learn over time.
Okay.
35 years. 35 years, you learn a thing or two. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
outer space or the bottom of the ocean?
Yeah, neither one of those sound great to me. Oh, that's tough. I'm taking this so seriously. Okay, let's go with outer space because the ocean scared me. It really does. It scares the crap out of me. Living here in Florida, the sharks and everything. I've been bumped by a shark in the water, and I just do not like it. I'm not a fan. I don't listen. I'm too out. At least in space, if they pulled the cord on me, I'd be dead within a matter of seconds, maybe. But a shark or an alligator would have their way with me down here. It would take too long.
Right.
I have a goal. I don't know if you have tattoos or not, Greg.
No. Mm-mm.
I've got
Okay.
1 or 2. I don't know, 30. I don't know, whatever. But
Yeah.
my goal, 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I'm going to start one leg because I have nothing on my legs. And I'm going to go from the ankle all the way up. And the ankle is going to be dark. And, you know, the fish with the little lights on their, you know,
Yeah.
pinnacle, it'll be that kind of scene on the way up. And then it's going to get lighter. Anchor and the old school Navy diver with the bubbles and the, you know, and then all the way at the top will be like the waves and like
That's cool.
yeah, a lighthouse all the way up the top of my thigh, the whole leg.
That makes sense, though. That makes sense. See, the only reason I'm not against tattoos, but the only reason I don't have any is because I don't want to have one just to have one. You know, it's got to mean something. And being that you were in the Navy, right? You were in the Navy. That makes sense. So, yeah, I could see doing that. I'm a huge fan of Ernest Shackleton. I love everything about Ernest Shackleton, the story about the endurance. And I always thought if I had a tattoo, it'd be something related to that. But I can't find anything that, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they got to mean something to you. Most of
Right.
mine were alcohol induced in the service. You know, I was a young sailor at one time.
Right.
Okay.
guys,
I've heard
in
the
between-
story.
So you gotta pay. This is a serious question. You ready for this serious question?
Yeah.
Pancakes or waffles?
I'd say waffles. They're tastier.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do love both of them, but I think there's just more to a waffle than there is to a pancake. You know, I do love pancakes. I don't eat them very often, but there is a new IHOP being built right down the road from us, and if Santa Tom moves to Lakeland, I'm sure we'll be going there.
Right.
Great questions. I'm going to interrupt just for a second because we had a couple good comments. No questions yet. Guys, if you have questions, please ask them in the comments. I will star them. Ask your questions for Greg. I do want to bring up a couple things. Amber says, Greg, my husband doesn't have tattoos either. He doesn't know what he would want. He doesn't know. Am I reading that right? He doesn't know what he would want for the rest of his life, right? Yeah,
Right.
A lot of people, I think, feel that way.
Makes sense.
You know, I guess there's ways to get rid of it now, but for the most part, if it's there, it's going to be there unless it's expensive to get rid of. Corey says, I'm getting a couple of tiny taco tattoos under my eyes because when I don't have tacos, I'm sad, and I feel it's the best way to express it. There you go.
That's good. I like that. I like
Greg,
that.
I do believe you know Corey. You've talked to him before, the owner of Weather Beer Supply Co. So there you go. Guys, don't forget, right after the questions, right after Dino and Chief are done with the questions, we will be doing a giveaway for Dino's 300 subscriber YouTube on his YouTube channel. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned for that. We will be doing a hashtag giveaway. So we are excited about that. Appreciate the little interruption there, guys. Go right ahead.
While you were talking, I seen Kilt Beard Co's in here real quick. And last night, Joe bought Dakota a gummy bear. It is 9 million Scoville.
Oh, wait, what? Is that possible?
It's the sun. It's literally the sun in his mouth, and he's going to eat it in 2 weeks. We were trying to get him to take a nibble last night, but he wasn't going for it.
Yes, Renee, he is in Lakeland, Florida. He will not let me give out his address for some reason, but he is in Lakeland. And actually, I am seriously contemplating on moving there. So, yes, I believe Black Manor is in Florida as well.
Yeah, I'd like to respond to these guys, but I have to look over here at this thing over here. I can't seem to do it on this screen because I've got to sign in and do all this other stuff. So I'm trying to do this other one, but I feel like I'd be missing out on something if I responded to everybody. So I apologize, but I do see your comments.
Okay, my last question. It's kind of serious. No disease or no poverty.
Well, I think a little thinning of the herd is good. That's horrible to say, you know what I mean? Because no poverty. I'd say no disease.
Good answer.
Because I it's hard to imagine a world without poverty. You can't give enough people enough money to make their life better. Because I don't think that's what makes people's lives better. I don't think. I was just thinking about this today, or maybe it was yesterday. You always hear people attribute a higher crime rate to lower income, and I don't think that's true. I just do not think that's true. I think people. I mean, that's like saying the more money, the higher income bracket has less crime, or they're more morally virtuous. But I don't think that's necessarily true either.
Not at all. Yeah.
And so I don't think I would wish no poverty. I mean, I'd like to have both, but if I have to choose one, I'd say no disease. Because watching people in my life get ravaged by disease is horrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely horrible. Yeah. Good question, though. I like that. Very interesting questions. I like to know where you got these. Just smart. You're just smart.
No, just have nothing to do.
Right. Oh man, those are fun.
you have any more questions, Dino?
Yeah, one last one. Live in the past or live in the future?
Well, I live in the past in my head already, and it hasn't done me much good. Most of it's a false memory, right? So, and all it does is just keep me from living in the present. I'd say the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at least there's hope, right, with the future. That's what I think.
Right.
Amber brings up a good point. Says there's a major consequence for either option. Very true.
Absolutely. That's why you got to really think it through. So I like these questions, man. Those are fun.
Cool.
Yeah. So when my wife and I were younger, much younger, before we had kids and we were living together, we had this book called the Book of Questions, and each page there's just one question on each page, and it was like hundreds of questions, and it was designed. You can still buy it; it's still around. It was designed for you to sit down and ask each of these questions and to be completely honest. It's a way of getting to know each other, just like what guys are doing on here. Right. It's not something that it's not getting the sum total of someone's character, but it's giving you an idea, giving you a glimpse into their personality and maybe how they string things together. But yeah, I remember her and I doing those questions with each other, and a couple times both of us being disturbed by our answers. So it was interesting. I don't forget it. I don't forget it. Neither does she. So it was good. It was stuff like this right here.
Right.
Yeah. So the beard used to be really big, and now it's a business beard. Right. I don't know which one I like better, the long Greg Boswell beard or the business beard, because they both kind of look like you could be, I'm going to say it, a model.
Well, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know, man. I do, that's a nice comment, because usually most guys will say, "No, you got to have a bigger beard." I'm like, yeah, I don't know. You know what's funny though, Tom, is last night on a couple nights ago on my live stream, I told my viewers I was coming on here. I said, "Do you think maybe I should shave my beard off before I go on and not tell Tom?" And Tom would probably have a heart attack.
Guys, for those of you that have followed Greg, and the one thing that I've always respected about Greg is he's not married. I think I'm safe in saying this, and correct me if I'm wrong, Greg, please. But he's not married to any one thing. It's not that he has to have a big beard. It's not that he has to have a short beard. It's not something that he lets run his life. And that's something I've always respected, because I'm kind of a creature of habit, right? Yeah. So, Santa can't have a wizard beard, right? So eventually I'm going to have to shave it this year, but I want to grow it so low. I want to see how long I can grow, right? And so I'm that creature of habit, but I've always respected people who kind of the opposite, right? And and I think one of the things, Dino and Steve, that Greg has kind of taught me amongst many things is, not to, and I think I'm safe in saying this, and I believe this is how you are, Greg, is don't box yourself in. Don't just kind of limit yourself to one thing. And so when I started opening my channel up, and of just different things, that's when things kind of started gaining traction. And I really appreciate that about you. So,
thank you.
Now tell me why you shaved your beard.
Well, I did it. Well, first of all, I always had the intention of not keeping the big beard permanently, but I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. But I thought, the one thing I haven't done on my channel is just completely take it off. And I was really nervous about doing it, because George Bruno said when he shaved his big beard off, he lost like 5,000 subscribers overnight.
Wow.
And I thought, oh man. It felt really risky to do it. But so I thought, but it'd be kind of cool. I mean, you do see some videos where guys do that, but it's different when you have a series of beard trimming tutorials that you've made, You know what I mean? Like people are relying upon you kind of to keep the beard regardless of where the length is at. So I did it. I guess I kind of did it for the views. I did it for kicks. I did it for a change. I did it for all those reasons. And I'd had the beard for 7 or 8 years and not seen my face. So I thought, I want to feel my skin again. I want to feel it. I want to see it. And I want to see if I look any different than what I remember myself. And lo and behold, I did look a little bit older than I did before. So, sometimes having a beard does cover up your age a little bit, even though some people might say it ages you. Sometimes it covers it up, certain things. So there's some benefits to having one as you age. I've seen some guys take their beards off and look older.
I think if I shaved my beard off, this part would look 10 years old because I use like a quart of beard oil every day. Just get it. Yeah. So it's probably like a baby. Really? It's like a baby underneath there.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Well, your beard, Steve, is big enough to actually. You were talking about raccoons earlier. Your beard is big enough to actually. He's in here now. I was gonna say, I bet he is. Didn't you name him already?
Well, I talk to him all the time, so I should name him.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah.
Right.
Well, the mama was Meg because she had a chip in her ear, so we knew Meg. And then we named all of them. There was one called Foot Fetish because he used to nibble at your toes. And so, yeah, we named them all. But yeah. So speaking of cutting the beard off, I'm going to World. I don't plan on winning, but I'm going to kind of, meet people. And who is Steve? Hello.
Oh, sorry. I think I should be calling you Chief, right?
It doesn't matter. But not too many people know me by Steve. But I'm
going
to World. Okay. I just want to meet all these fine people from around the world and maybe get some pointers. And me and Dino are going to hang out. He's going to be my arm candy. We're gonna hang out and do our thing. But after that, I'm not married to it either. But I still have a YouTube channel about beard stuff, so it's going to go Kratos. So it's probably going to be right around there, like a duck's tail. So
that'll look nice.
I think it probably weigh about a pound or so because it's pretty long.
And I would imagine, Chief, too, I would imagine that if you, I don't know what your beard grooming habits are, but I would imagine if you didn't, they what?
Insane.
Oh, really? Okay. So I would imagine though, that if you don't use heat on your beard, once you get it cut, at least go in without having used heat on it and get that style done. And if it's not, the thing about applying heat to your beard is it becomes stick straight. So I think that style of beard would look better with a little more of a natural texture. You know what I mean?
So it wouldn't look just trimmed up. Yeah.
Right. And that way you wouldn't have to rely upon applying heat to keep up with that. And I think it would look, that's just my opinion. I think it would look better.
I rarely use heat to maybe twice a week, maybe 3 times at most. But it's just a blow dryer. I've got the Aberlite and it's okay, but I'd just rather just put the blow dryer on the wall and do my thing.
Right.
Well, guys,
I don't like.
Go right ahead, Greg.
Oh, I was just going to add to that. I was going to say I don't really like the heated beard brushes that much. I don't like what they do to the structure of the hair. If I'm saying that right. Yeah. But anyway, that's all I was going to say about that.
Well, we have a couple more statements and a question. Baker says that he just started following you the other day, and he's the king of Replay Squad. So yes, there's plenty of videos on Greg's channel. I believe I was looking. I think there's somewhere around 600 and some odd 85 maybe.
Yeah,
I was looking at your view hour. He's got almost almost a million views, guys. I mean that is phenomenal.
I didn't even know
Amber says I have been following Greg since last year. I'm sure he appreciates that, Amber. We love Amber here on the Trace Amigos talk show and in the community. And now Abe wants to know, so Greg, what is your opinion of bird oil?
Did he mean to say beard oil?
Bird, like birdland, like ostrich or emu oil.
Oh, I don't have a lot of experience with it. In fact, I hear people talk about the emu oil, and I've been curious about it, but I've never tried it. And it sounds like it'd be something good. I'm very curious about it, but I couldn't remark on it because I don't have any experience with bird oil. Yeah, I wish I did, but no.
I think
Yeah.
it's just like everything else. You know, I know Greg's done a lot of content on Artius Man, which Artius Man is probably the thickest beard oil on the market, right? Castor heavy, and you know, it's got its place. I love using on my stripping days. Bird oil. You know, Dan C mentions, you know, he likes bird oil, but he doesn't use as much because it makes his beard so soft that it just
really
keeps that fly away, right? So, you know, I like using a bird oil blend during the winter months. In the summer months, I use a little heavier, you know. So, you know, it just I guess to each their own. But I hope that answers your question. And I would say I want to mention one more time, and in about maybe 10 more minutes, let's go ahead. And did Jesse jump in here? I didn't see him. There he is. Okay, real quick, I hope Greg doesn't mind this, but Jesse Cervantes of Cervantes Beard Co. Has been around the bearded community for about 5 years. He was our first guest on the Trace Amigos talk show. We wanted to get him back on, but Cervantes, Jesse has some life things, like everything that comes up in most people's lives, right? And he is closing shop, which is sad to hear. So if you guys could do the Trace Amigos and a big favor and go over there and let's send Jesse out with a bang and buy everything that he has out. And Jesse, we wish you nothing but the best. Thank you for being a friend of the Trace Amigos talk show, a friend of mine. And you mean a lot. It's the bearded community is not going to be the same. We wish you all the luck. And if you ever need anything, you know how to reach out to us. Right. There you go. And
he's responsible for this show.
Absolutely. 100%
is.
Yep. Okay. Well, there you go.
I love the honesty because
there you go.
I'm with you, Santa. The winter times, I'll choose the fatter and thicker casters, and I like bird oil, but if it's like above like 35-40%, my beard doesn't absorb it well, and I do this and it's all over my hands, and so I like a low concentration of bird oil, but I don't want to use it all the time. And it is soft. I like it, you know, but it is soft, but I can't use it daily. If I wanted a thick one, I'll grab an Artius Man or something like that, but it has its place. And like you said, winter's always a good time for the fatter oils and the heavier oils.
Right.
And I do believe Greg has a discount code for Artius Man, if I'm not mistaken. Do you still have one?
I believe it's Greg 20.
There you go. Greg 20, 20% Artius Man.
Have you guys? Huh?
I was gonna say I absolutely love Artius Man. It's just
yeah. They're so good. I've been with them. I think I've been with them from the beginning. But have you guys ever tried? I know you have, Tom. Have you guys ever tried Bay Area Beard Company?
No,
they're fabulous. Yeah. Fabulous. That's a guest you should have on this show. Is Matt from Bay Area Beard Company? He is a great guy. You would enjoy him. Listen to him talk on product. He's so knowledgeable. He's a great guy.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed him. I believe Twitch had him on his show one day, and I really enjoyed it. I just need to reach out to him because I believe it's Matt, correct?
Yeah, Matt.
Yeah, right. So
just Matt Selby,
right? Super guy, and would be a great guest on the show. Try to reach out to him. Yeah. But guys, we do have a giveaway, and let's say we have some time left in the show. I would say let's go ahead and dive into it. This is again for Dino's Tactical Santa's 300 subscriber giveaway on his YouTube channel. Great job, Dino. We wish you all the success and all the luck. You put in the work, you put in the time. Your channel's growing fast, so we really appreciate you, and we appreciate you doing this giveaway. And I believe the way it's going to work is it's going to be the product is going to be from Hemp Wizard Beard Co.
Yes, sir.
All right, Hemp Wizard. Is it Beard Co? Maybe
Yep.
just Hemp Wizard. So anyway, all right, guys. So if you haven't tried Hemp Wizard, now would be a great time to try it because what a great company. And if you're worried about anything with the name hemp in it, there is no the only thing to do with hemp in there is the terpenes? Terpenes. Okay. So I wasn't sure how to pronounce it, which gives the plant its smell and I believe its taste, like if an animal eats it or something like that. So there's no CBD or THC or anything like that in it at all, but it feels absolutely amazing. So shout out to Hemp Wizard and Mike Wiseman. Will be putting on the Buckeye Beer Battle this year, September 6th. Shout out to that. Dino, Tactical Santa Chief, and myself will be there. Please, if you could make it, reach out to us. We would love to make that happen for you. All right, guys, we are going to go ahead and do this. We are going to do hashtag the number 300, hashtag 300. So go ahead and get that in the chat, and we will be doing a giveaway here shortly.
That
there you go.
Great.
Yes, it does.
I absolutely love this. Man, I love that beard wash. Great stuff. There you go, guys. Hashtag 300. Okay. So, Greg, well, talk to us a little bit about what you have going on now. You have your live shows going on, I believe, what now, 2 days a week? Or is it, I know on Tuesdays for sure.
That is my intention. I kind of fell off track right after my son graduated, but I'm trying to hop back onto it now. So, yeah, usually Tuesdays and I say usually Tuesday and Thursday nights. That's just how I started, and I just kept on a roll. So I do it about 9 o'clock in the evening. So yeah, that's the latest thing I've had going on. I haven't been making as many other videos because of a lack of time. I'm trying to get back onto that too. So yeah, I don't have a lot going on. I have to admit, but the live stream is a new addition for me, and it's one I've been enjoying quite a bit. I'm excited about exploring that more and doing more with it, kind of like what you guys are doing. I really like the camaraderie that you have here, and it's just an interesting dynamic. The engagement is so much different, when you have other people on like this.
Yeah,
right.
The respect and the support is really nice. It's nice to be a part of that.
Absolutely. Well, guys, like I said, if you're not following Greg, you can follow him on Facebook, or you can follow him on Facebook, I guess. But I see most of his stuff on YouTube and Instagram. Greg, is there anywhere else that you would like to throw out there where the people can follow you, or is that where you do?
No, those are my main platforms, just Instagram and Facebook. I don't do a lot with Facebook, but I am accessible through Facebook and Instagram. That's how a lot of people do get a hold of me when they want to. So I can be reached through there. The best thing to do is here's the thing. If you follow me, DM me, because a lot gets lost in the shuffle. So I don't want anybody to feel like I'm ignoring them. Sometimes I'll go back, especially on Facebook. Facebook's really bad about it. Sometimes I'll go back through Facebook and realize a lot of people have requested me as a friend. I'm like, oh, I didn't even see these. So feel free to DM me and say, hey, I just followed you. I just followed you, so I'll follow you back. So, yeah,
Greg.
That's
real quick. I just seen Bearded Respect 154. He said you were a model for Harley Davidson.
No, that was Matt. That was Matt, Chief. Bay Area, Matt.
Oh, I see that now. Dang it.
What are we talking about?
Matt.
He says Matt is amazing and used to be a model for Harley Davidson. Check the Bearded Respect number 154.
I should.
Was he really? Is he serious about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't know that. Matt's never told me that.
Well, he's such a humble guy, isn't he? I mean, he's just. Yeah. It's not like something I would think he would even brag about, but he's just so humble that I just love that about him.
Well, I know he works for the USPS.
Yes.
I didn't know that he did that. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Guys, get your hashtag 300 in. We got a few more minutes. So, Greg, you got the show going on, the lives now. I've seen that you've started putting out more videos, which I absolutely love. If you guys haven't followed Greg, he does everything from beard product reviews to head shaving product reviews to hat reviews to book reviews to walking around his town to riding on his motorcycle doing 360s while he's going underneath bridges reviews. And it's just it's just so much that's going on. There's something for everybody. So I highly encourage you, go check him out. Go check his channel out, subscribe and follow to be encouraged. And Greg, well, I'm going to save this for later because I want to do this drawing real quick, but I'm going to save this for the last thing, the one last question that I have, and then we'll get back to these questions that everybody has. So if you haven't got it, go ahead and get it in. Let's go ahead and do the drawing. Good luck, everybody.
So Dino used to model, Dino models women's underwear, huh?
Oh, 30 Spray J.
Spray J.
Congratulations. Dino, you want to tell 30 Spray J what he needs to do?
Yep. So 30 Spray J, I will reach out to me so I can get your info, and then I'll get you hooked up with Hemp Wizard. So what you won was the Tactical Santa release that's not coming out till my birthday, June 27th. So you're actually going to get an oil and a cleansing conditioner before everybody else gets their hands on it.
Wow.
I was
that guy wins everything.
He does. I was wondering when the first one was going to come up rigged.
Rigged. Santa Tom said $20 is $20.
Hey, there you go. Congratulations, 30 Spray J. Appreciate you, man, being here. Appreciate your support.
So, Greg, can I ask you something?
Sure.
You've been doing this a while. Dino and I and Santa Tom we're new to this. What kind of advice would you give us for live streams and content creation?
Well, live streams, I don't feel qualified to give any kind of advice on that. You did say advice, right?
Yeah.
Or okay. So live streams, I don't really know because I'm still learning the ropes on that myself. But just as far as regular content goes, it depends. I would ask what your I would ask what your goals are as a content creator first, because not everything I would have to say would apply to every individual. But Santa Tom actually reached out to me one time and asked me some questions about very similar to this, and I can't remember what some of my responses were, but I will say, what's that?
I'll tell you the biggest one. I've shared this with both of these guys and shared it with many other people since then. Do not look at your subscriber numbers. They will drive you insane. That's probably the best advice I ever got.
That is true. It really get in your head. But one of the things I would suggest to anybody who wants to be a content creator, my dog keeps like scratching at the door, so it makes me think someone's coming in. But I would say set a goal, because when I first started doing this, I had no idea what I was doing. And I knew that I was going to be making a lot of what I would consider terrible content. But I said to myself, okay, I'm going to make 100 videos and just see and I'll quit. If I don't like what I'm doing, if it's terrible, I'll quit. But that at least by then I'll know what my potential is, right? And that's just an arbitrary number. It could be anything. But I would say set a goal and don't put too much pressure on yourself. Like, you see these channels that are made for content creators to grow your channel and do all. I would say stay away from those, because they'll tell you they're not consistent. They'll tell you all sorts of things, and they're just going after low hanging fruit. And I would say just make the kind of stuff that you would like to watch, and don't allow yourself to get too boxed in. And people talk all the time about be consistent. Well, what does that even mean? Right. Be consistent. Like what's the scale here? I'd say just, it just make stuff you like and you won't have to worry about it. And, have a goal that you're trying to accomplish, but also try to keep your head out of the clouds too. One of the best books I ever read, let me see if I can find it here. I think it's right on top. I was telling Tom about this when he was here in Lakeland. There's a book called Steal Like an Artist. Okay. Tremendously good book by Austin Kleon. One of the things he says in here, and I absolutely agree with, is don't quit your day job. And it's not for, this isn't just made for content creators on YouTube. This is for anybody who has a dream and a passion, is pursuing something they really like. This is a fantastic book. He has like several books out, and this is another one called Show Your Work by the same author. And he has just some tremendously good tips in there, but I would say don't get so ambitious that you think this is what I've got to do the rest of my life, and this is what's going to support me. Because when you're putting too much pressure on yourself, you start pandering to the masses. You start feeling like a shill, and just do everything you can to enjoy the process. Because I think when you put a lot of pressure on yourself and you stop enjoying it, it's because you forgot why you were doing it to begin with. So know the why. Know why you're doing what you're doing, and always go back to that whenever you feel discouraged. And I have felt that way 100 times. I have felt discouraged 100 times. So I say, yeah, there you go, Tom. I felt that way 100 times. I say, I don't know if I'm going to do this YouTube thing anymore. I might quit. I have to go back and go, well, why am I doing this? And so that, just answering that one question is good enough for me. I've got to know that it's as much for me as it is for everybody else out there, because there have been times, even here very recent past, I thought, I don't know if I'm going to do this anymore. And then I kind of lay off for a little bit and go, I don't know what I'm going to do with my time if I don't make YouTube videos. It's become a part of who I am now. And you have to think about the long game. Well, at least for me, maybe it depends on the kind of content somebody makes, but you have to think about the long game. This is a good thing about YouTube. Something you made 5 years ago may become more relevant now than it was then. And it's just, it's about planting the seeds, hoping that you'll get a good crop. But it takes time. And, you can't get inside your head too much, and I guess, I had made a list for Tom one time. And after I sent that to him, I actually thought of a few other things that I wish I would have said. And then I meant to turn that into a video, and I never did it. And now we're talking about it again, makes me think that I probably should. But it's a great topic of discussion, because I think that there's a lot of BS out there, people out there trying to tell people what it is to be a successful YouTuber. I just think a lot of it's garbage, and I think it just leads to a lot of discouragement and depression. Time and time again, I see it so much. And I love that question, though. I know I just talked a lot, but that's
no listening.
Great, yeah.
One
of the things that rings true to me is what you just said. What you may make 5 years ago may not be relevant then, but people ask me, why are you making Christmas videos in May and June and April? They don't do very good. They don't. But what does really good when December rolls around? Those videos, they skyrocket. And, so that's that. I appreciate that answer so much. That's very relevant.
Right.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, starting a YouTube channel, it's not something I thought I would ever do, ever. And once I started doing it, I said, this is kind of fun. This is kind of neat. But then it came with some real challenges, especially Tom and I were talking about this last week. There was a time when my subscriber rate started to skyrocket, and I didn't know why. I had no idea why. And my video, the views on some of my beard trimming tutorials took off and got over 1 million views. I'm like, I don't even know why, because they're not that good. But then you start thinking, oh, this is great. I finally made it. And now you have this expectation, and you think it's going to be self-perpetuating, right? No, it's not. It does not translate all across the board. You begin to realize that the number of subscribers you have mean nothing. Views mean everything. But you think you've got it made now, and then this really gets into your head. You're like, why are the same number of people over here that liked this video, why are they not watching these other ones? You start to feel a little resentful, because you're going, I give the best of myself on these other ones I'm not getting very many views on. And the other ones that I got a lot of views on are just kind of like ones I made on a whim. And what you find out, and this really teaches you a lot about life, is that things don't make sense all the time, and they don't have to. And it's probably best not to try to figure out why. Just just do what you do and keep on moving. In fact, having just said that kind of reminds me of a video I kind of plan on having come out here real soon about Wilma Rudolph. But yeah, you just have to keep moving.
Yeah. Guys, it's straight up 7 o'clock. And you know what that means. On this show, Greg, straight up 7 o'clock means that Dino, Tactical Santa, gets the ask the question.
The question.
So Dino, take it away.
Okay.
If you could meet any celebrity or any musician, who would you pick and why?
Dead or alive?
Dead or alive? Dead or alive?
Oh, man. See, celebrity's pretty broad. I mean, people typically think of Hollywood, but I guess that's anybody famous. Musician.
Musician, band, whatever you'd like.
Okay. Oh, man. Oh, I tell you, as far as I'm probably not answering this right. But as far as a musician goes, it would have to be Scott Joplin. He was the king of ragtime. Back in 1899, he wrote the Maple Leaf Rag. It became a huge hit. And ragtime became something that more or less saved my life. And I would love to go back in time and meet him and just find out like what he was all about and befriend him and just, I don't know. I'm just fascinated by him and people of that era because everything was groundbreaking back then. That as far as like any other celebrity goes, I mean, oh man, I don't know because I'm not someone who gets starstruck.
Right.
It's very, and I don't like most celebrities. You know, the idea is kind of neat, but I had the opportunity of meeting Tim Burton one time. I got to flirt with what was her name? In that movie, Edward Scissorhands. She was in Heather's.
Yeah.
She was dating Johnny Depp at the time.
Yep.
Winona Ryder.
Yep.
I flirted with her in passing. Didn't know who she was right away, and then I found out. I was like, I should have made good on that. Maybe she probably wouldn't have left Johnny Depp for me, but you never know.
She didn't go. But is that Greg Boswell? She said that. Right?
This was back when they were making Edward Scissorhands here in Lakeland. They were filming, and Tom, if you come to Lakeland, I'll take you there. But yeah, they were filming Edward Scissorhands, so I was on set all day long over there and got to watch him film certain scenes. And I walked right up to Tim Burton and asked him how to become a Hollywood stuntman because that's what I wanted to do. And he was real kind to me. I was so impressed with how nice he was to me because he was kind of a big shot, in Hollywood. He was just very nice to me, but he couldn't answer my questions because he was busy. But I saw Johnny Depp, I saw Winona Ryder, Anthony Michael Hall, and all that was pretty cool. But even then, I wasn't really that starstruck. I thought Winona Ryder was pretty cute, but yeah, she walked right in front of me. She smiled and waved at me, and I was like, "Hey."
She said, "Hey, Greg, what's up, Greg?"
I'm like, "Yeah." But it's funny going back and watching that movie now. Here we are on a rabbit trail. Going back and watching that movie, I'm like, that's exactly what I saw. She looked just like that, and the blonde hair and everything. But I don't know. I wish I had I'm sure if I got asked this at a different time, I could tell you right off the bat. Yeah. See, I read a lot of biographies and historical books, so I get really caught up with figures in history who are like the shakers and the movers. I don't know if that's the right word. That might be the wrong terminology, but the people who really make a difference, those are the people I'm impressed with. Mm-hmm. And they're not really what I would consider celebrities. So yeah, it's hard for me to answer that one. But as far as a musician goes, I would say Scott Joplin.
Nice.
Yeah. That was a long way around, wasn't it?
And that's fine. And for those of you that don't know, Greg himself is also a ragtime piano player. So he's got videos on there with him playing ragtime as well. So check that
I
out.
got a few.
Yeah,
Huh?
absolutely. So check that out, guys. I do want to ask you, put you on the spot here, because I know me and you have already talked about this, so I kind of already know the answer. But
Okay.
you mentioned you flirting with Winona Ryder. So
Yeah.
out there, I'm just surprised she didn't snatch Greg Boswell up. But, you know,
Me too.
so tell me what your wife thinks about, because I'm going to tell you how my wife thinks about, you know, when she's watching some of my videos and she sits there and goes, you know, you're such a dork, you know, stuff like that, you know. But so how does your wife react to your videos is the first question. But how did you come up with your closing phrase? And for those of you that don't know, well, go ahead. You tell us what your closing. I'll say what the closing phrase is, because I can't say it. I've always tried to say it like I just can't say it, and that is "be wise." So the first question is, what does your wife think about your video? The second question is, where did you come up with your closing statement?
So what my wife? Okay, my wife used to watch my videos. She used to, but she is not starstruck by me. So she doesn't really watch them. She doesn't, she doesn't have an opinion about it. She supports the fact that I have a YouTube channel, but she doesn't really watch them. And that's okay by me. That's fine. And I'm sure there's a lot of YouTubers that would tell you that, because after a while it's kind of like, oh, and I'm not going to ask her to, because it's not like I need that validation. But yeah, she doesn't really have any strong opinions about it, because she doesn't really see them. So, but the closing line, which is in all my talking head videos, is, in the meantime, be wise. I don't really. The only thing I can think of is that growing up, we used to have these books. I'm trying to I think these books, they were relatively small. Back to the Bible broadcast had these books called like "Be Wise," "Be Encouraged," "Be Happy." These other things. And Warren Wiersbe wrote these, and they were on different books of the New Testament. And for some reason, I always thought that'd be kind of cool to have that either as a channel name or as a hook or something like that. And one day I just said it, like, in the meantime, and I didn't give it a lot of thought. It just kind of came out of my mouth. And I thought, no, that kind of fits. I think I'll just keep saying that. And because it applies. Those are my life lessons, food for thought videos. And I figured, it keeps me, having a phrase like that to repeat keeps me from saying something stupid or being awkward, because there's nothing worse than thinking you're going to end a video, then you just keep stammering. You go, yeah, okay, that's it. All right, bye guys. See you later. You don't do that. You just go, in the meantime, be wise. And then that's it. That's it. So it just kind of works for me. And I would suggest to anybody who has a channel does come up with something like that. Like you do, Tom. You have something that you talk about being kind and whatnot. That's great. Great message. That's a great way to end your videos, because people start looking for that. They want to hear it. They want to hear it come out of your mouth. I don't know why, but it's something reliable. I watch other YouTubers that have something similar to that, and they repetitively say things at the end or the beginning of their videos. And when they don't do it, people are going, we didn't hear you say that thing. So it's something that's kind of, I think it's noteworthy and reliable, and it works. So it's a good thing to have.
I yell at people.
He does, and I love it.
I yell at people?
Love it. Yeah. Can you give it to us real quick, Chief?
Bearded Chief, out!
Oh, okay. That's
kind of aggressive.
Mine's a lot gentler.
It'd be like, okay. Oh, you could, a tactical Santa, you could like fire off guns like pow, 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 pow. That could be your exit.
My thing is, I'm having a hard time keeping these Jordans on the ground.
Oh, is that right?
Yep.
Oh,
So,
okay.
You can't see
cool.
it. You can't see it, Greg, but behind, because he's got his screen up here. But when he doesn't have it on, he's got a closet full. He buys and collects Jordans. There you go.
Oh.
So
How do you do that? How
He's
did you do
Santa.
that?
Hey, Santa.
I have Santa magic.
Wow. I'm impressed. Wow. And I'd say your closet's a lot more organized than mine. She doesn't scare her. Oh.
Yeah.
So, hey, my wife watches all my little stories.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a real compliment. If you're getting that, I hear YouTubers say that every once in a while. Yeah, my wife actually watches my videos and she likes them, and I think that's really sweet. I'm like, oh, that's nice. That's nice.
So, where my wife thinks I'm the nerd is I can remember the first time, two times. The first time Greg Boswell responded to one of my videos, I took off running there. Hey, Greg Boswell responded to one of my videos. And the first time Dan C responded to one of my videos, I run in there. Hey, Dan C responded to one. She's like,
I know the feeling.
You are such a nerd.
I did that too. I did that with George Bruno, and I did that with Dan C. And I remember the first time George Bruno mentioned me on his channel. I'd never talked to him, and he said like I was one of his favorite people to watch. I'm like, what? And he had like a picture of me, like mind blown. I'm like, oh, this is great. And I couldn't believe it. That's a good feeling, isn't it?
Yeah. It really is. And speaking of George Bruno, well, I tell you what, we were talking the other night at dinner that just watching some of his early videos. What an awesome beard that man. Had that long beard. Oh my gosh.
I loved it. I loved that beard, man. And especially his, I don't know if Dino and Chief have seen his Beards Without Border videos. Those are my favorite ones. It was those were so relaxing to watch. And I don't know if I watched it because it was relaxing or if I just like was mesmerized by his beard. It was just, he had the most glorious beard ever. Yeah, he just had a way about him in those videos that I really liked. But
what's a good video to watch is Amber and Kevin when Amber is taking care of Kevin's beard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like I like watching people make soap or whittle or build something without even talking. They're just building things. I like watching those kind of videos, but I like watching Amber take care of Kevin's beard. It's too cool.
Yep.
So that's kind of neat.
Amber and Kev are big in the bearded community, right? Greg,
right.
But and this is Amber right here. So her husband Kev has a glorious beard. I mean, this thing is it's like it's chiseled out of stone.
It's bullet.
So
right.
She has done videos where she's actually grooming his beard, and it is like relaxed. What do you call them? ASMR videos.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like,
love that.
Oh, it's great.
I would love to have a woman do that to my beard.
Mm-hmm.
That would be great. That would be great.
Hey,
it's that's like kind of sensual. You know what I mean?
You can to get your wife to watch Kevin Amber, and hey, she'll hook you up. Yeah. But and also, guys, if you haven't checked out Kevin or Amber's YouTube channel, check her out. She does a lot of. She's a great artist, and she'll do a lot, and calligraphy too. And so she'll do just, and it is very, very relaxing to watch. But guys, it is almost 7:15. We'll start winding it down. Greg, do you have any closing points or statements you'd like to make or to leave people with? Any words of wisdom?
No, those probably come in spurts. So, no, I don't really have anything pressing. I would love to get to know Dino and Chief even better and spend more time with you guys, because this has been great, and both of them sound extremely interesting. So I would love to pick their brains, but I'm enjoying this, and I hope I get to come back sometime, because this is fun.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
This is fun. And then maybe we can all do it. We all do it when Tom is living down here.
Yeah.
We can be in the same studio together.
That's going to be a conversation I'm going to have with my wife as soon as I get off. We were talking before the show, guys. Just an opportunity with the company I work for, who is based out of Lakeland, Florida. A couple job opportunities just came open. So it'd be great for promotion. I never thought I'd want to promote again after I retired, but it's something we're looking into. Chief, you got any closing thoughts?
Man, I wish you the best of luck on that, Santa. That sounds fun. And the weather should be a little bit better, I would think.
Right.
Closing thoughts. Man, I can't believe the show's over already, or almost over.
I know.
It's just been focus, and fun and weird questions and just, man, this was fun, totally fun. And I get to hang out with my three brothers and Greg Boswell. Oh my God, this is crazy, right? Appreciate your time. I know your time's valuable. And man, everybody in the chats, as always, much love and respect to you guys. Dino, what you got?
I gotta tell you, it was awesome having you on here, Greg. And like I said, I would enjoy talking to you more. And you can pick away at my brain as much as you want. I don't know how much is left there, but it'd be interesting to do that. And Chief, it might be fun sometime if maybe we could have Greg on the Monday Night Mayhem show.
Yeah,
I'll do it.
Yeah,
I'll do it.
We'll get you on there.
That'd be fun. I'm open for it.
Yep. But as always, man, awesome being on here, and I am glad to meet you and talk to you, and I look forward to talking to you some more in the future, man.
Well, the pleasure is all mine. I've enjoyed. It just feels great to even be asked. It's funny. I bet none of us sitting here ever thought, 5-10 years ago that we'd be doing this here now, right? I mean, but what a great thing it is. It's a great community. And you make friends of people that you're not in close proximity to, but you feel like you are because of this technology. It's great.
One thing I forgot, Chief, maybe we have an excuse to go down to Lakeland, because if I remember correctly, I think the Detroit Tigers have spring training in Lakeland.
Yep.
So I know you're not into baseball, Chief, but we could use that as an excuse and head down there.
That's the swing and bat ball.
Yeah, I throw it, and you like that throw?
Baseball, got it.
Yeah. So
I love those guys. They're great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tell you what. I'm going to a game on June 27th. Detroit Tigers at the Tiger Stadium here in Lakeland. Yeah, I'm going. I think I am. I'm pretty much hopefully. But that's one of the good things about living here is because of the baseball.
Right. Well, you're thinking about me because that day's my birthday. So hopefully the Tigers win.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Well, my birthday is on the 30th.
Nice. There we go.
Yeah.
My son's was yesterday.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
How old is your son?
32.
Oh, okay. So we must all be pretty close in age, I'm guessing.
55.
Oh, that's what I'll be. I'll be 55 on 30th.
Nice.
And what are you?
51 this month.
51.
Yep.
Okay. And Tom, you're 54, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh man, look at that. Look at that.
Dino, you do know the Worlds, that week of Worlds, Pittsburgh Pirates games going on.
Oh, okay.
The throwy ball.
Yeah. If I heard something correctly, I think whoever is the head person of the World's beard competition is going out to throw the first ball out, first pitch. Yeah.
Yep.
Corey of Weather Beer Supply Co. says he'll be 35 July 23rd. That's my daughter's 35. One of my daughters. Hey man, enjoy it, Corey, and your enthusiasm and your vigor shows very much. So yes, enjoy it. Appreciate you. Thank you, Chris, so much. And we do have some beard companies. Greg, are you still open to do beard content reviews, product reviews? If a company reaches out to you?
I looked the other day and I couldn't remember the last time I did a beard product review. I did 5 of them last year, and they weren't all like beard oil and stuff like that. Some of them were. Most of them were like Bay Area Beard Company, and then like the Brio hair dryer and stuff like that. But yeah, here and there, I wouldn't mind doing some more, and because it's just kind of fun dabbling with stuff like that, and I don't know. That's one of the great things about having a beard. When I shaved my I was gonna say when I shaved my face off, can't do that, but when I shaved my beard off, that's one of the things that went through my head is like, oh, I kind of miss the products, right? That's one of the great things about it. It all smells so good, and so yeah, and it's just it's a fun thing to do. So I'm sure I'll be doing some more.
Well, guys, I would just like to say thank you to Greg for coming on the show. I would have asked a lot sooner, but you kind of get stuck in your head. Well, that's Greg Boswell. He's not going to want to come on our show, but the more I'm learning and the more we do this show, I have people that reach out that I never would have thought would want to be on the show that say, hey, would you mind if I come on the show? Well, and I'm all of a sudden, yeah, I would have asked you. I just never thought you would have the time or something like that. Not that saying they're better than anybody else, but that's just the kind of the mindset. But I thank you so much because I know how busy you are with your family, your work, your content and everything. But how much you've meant to me, Greg, I don't know if you'll ever know, but I appreciate you so much. And I'm not just saying that. I say it to people when we're not on. Just ask Chief Adino. You've meant a lot to me in my life. You really have inspired me. And kind of came along in the time of life that I really needed stuff like that. So I appreciate you so much. I thank you. It's a pleasure that I've met you and hope that we can all talk to you some more again. But I look forward to continuing getting to know you and appreciate your friendship so much. So thank you for being you. Appreciate
Absolutely.
you. And I will continue on working on the Be Wise closing statement. But until then, guys, remember, this world could use a little kindness. So be kind to one another. And as always, keep Christmas in your heart year round. See you next Thursday for Robert and Terry Jones, guys. Have a good night.
Thanks, guys.